In this video, I'm going to show you how you can take items from the thrift store or inexpensive items and turn them into beautiful high-end pieces of home decor.
Garage sales and thrift stores are full of purses, and I always go check them out, not for the purse itself, but for the handles on the purse. I really like the handles on this particular purse. I just cut the purse off and I added antiquing wax to the handles to darken it up and make it more my style. Then I cut 2 pieces of drop cloth to the size that I needed. Now, the great thing about making stuff yourself is you can make it to whatever size you need. I had purchased these beautiful long floral dogwood stems from Walmart, and I wanted to make a custom bag to put them in. I hot glued the edges of the drop cloth together and then I turned it inside out. I always cut off all the hems of my drop cloth because they are perfect to use for projects here and there. So that is what I'm using to attach my bag to the wooden handles. And that is it. This project was quick and simple and looks like something that you would purchase from a very high-end store. I absolutely love the way that this custom little bag turned out. And I decided to keep it simple, but you could definitely add some stamps or some transfers. But I just thought with the addition of the floral, it was absolutely perfect in my foyer. I grabbed this drop cloth from Walmart and hung it up, and it does go across the whole window. However, I'm not loving the ruffle. It's just a little bit too shabby chic for me, but I love the look of the drop cloth. These are the drop cloths that I purchased from Walmart. They are around $10, and I have 3 windows that I need to make curtains for. I decided to wash my drop cloths, which I don't normally do, but since I was cutting these to a custom size, I wanted to make sure they were pre-shrunk in case I ever had to wash them again. You know, I do have 4 kids. They definitely will be putting their dirty fingers on my curtains. Like I said, this was my first time washing drop cloth, and I did have to put it through the dryer several times, cleaning out the filter several times as well because it did shed and peel a lot. So now I am folding my drop cloth in half so I can turn one drop cloth into 2 panels. As you saw in the first clip, one drop cloth thoroughly covered the window, but I need 2 panels. Windows need 2 panels. If you are one of those people that do one window panel and put it on the side, I am sorry. We cannot be friends. I cannot deal with that. Windows need 2 panels. I am just cutting off the excess drop cloth that I do not need. I need this panel to be 88.5 inches, and you can see how much it shrunk. So if you liked the ruffle curtains in the first clip, I would suggest not washing your drop cloth so you have a nice pretty ruffle. So I'm just cutting my drop cloth right down the middle so I can turn this one drop cloth into 2 panels, and I'm going to do this for all 3 of my drop cloths. Now we're going to add some 1.5 inch rod clips. This is a pack of 100 that I ordered for Amazon. I think it was $26. I'll put a link in the description, but these are perfect. You don't have to sew or do anything. You just clip them right to the top. And I personally think they make curtains look very high end. To add the clips, I always start on the ends, then I fold my curtain in half and put a clip in the middle, and then I fold it in half again and put it in the middle of that, and that's how I keep them evenly spaced out. And I also like to pleat my curtains when I'm clipping them. So you just kind of fold them over and then clip it. I hope this makes sense, but you'll kind of see in the final video, I'll do a close-up of it. And I wouldn't worry too much about the pleat. You just want to fold it over and clip it. And if the pleat is going the wrong way or something, that's very easy to fix once you have the curtains hung up. So right now, you're just trying to get the placement by folding it over in half. You could also measure, but I find this is very easy. Once all your clips are in place, it is ready to be hung up. I got these simple black curtain rods from IKEA. And the side that I cut, the more distressed looking side, I always put that one towards the outside so it won't be as noticeable. I love how these curtain panels came out. They are exactly what I wanted, and I personally think they look so high end. You cannot beat $30 for 6 curtain panels. All right, I want to show y'all another project really quick using drop cloth as a background. I always pick up these wooden signs that already have the wood frame around it. All you have to do is hot glue a piece of drop cloth on the inside. It is so much quicker and so much easier than trying to paint the inside of these pieces of artwork. And then hot glue your black clip to the background and it is ready for your artwork or your pictures. If you watch my channel, then you know I absolutely love IOD's typesetting stamp. It is just a perfect stamp to add any customization or embellishment to any project. And I wanted to embellish this plain pillowcase that I had. So I just placed the stamps on my pillow in the arrangement that I wanted. Then I took IOD's thin mount, picked up the stamps, you turn them over, and then you ink them up. I am using IOD's ink in the color China Blue, and then once your stamp is inked up, you just want to turn it over and apply it to your piece, and you just want to lightly press on your stamps to help the ink adhere. I actually use a brayer and just rolled it across the top. I absolutely love the vintage look and feel when you stamp a surface. No two pieces are exactly alike. There's always a little bit of imperfections, and that's what I love about stamping. And I like the way that this pillow came out so much. I ended up doing one with black ink for my master bedroom. I see these wooden candle holders that hang on the wall all the time at the thrift store. I don't really decorate with this kind of stuff at my house, so I'm going to see if I can turn it into something totally different. The first thing that I want to do is bring it to my miter saw and just cut the bottom off. That way it'll sit nice and flat. I do actually like the wood color on this. However, there's some stickers on it and a little bit of glitter. So what I'm going to do is just sand it down and kind of give it a wooden distress look. So just like you paint something with chalk paint and then you distress it to bring a different color back, you can also do that with wood and it gives it a nice aged look. So I'm just going to take this, I'm going to sand it down, I'm going to hit the edges really good, and it'll give it a beautiful aged look that I personally love in my home. I purchased this faux succulent from the dollar store and it very easily comes out of its pot. Now I'm going to take just a tiny piece of foam and I'm going to stick it in the candlestick. Now you could also glue your floral in there, but I didn't want it to be permanent. I want to be able to change it out if I decide to add something later on. So I'm just going to cut it down because the candlesticks are very shallow, and I'm going to stick the faux succulent into my foam, and it is easy as that. How cute and how simple is this project? I purchased this sign because I really loved the rusty wire and the rust at the top, but I definitely did not like the bright green. So I'm going to take some black chalk paint and just cover up that green just so it doesn't come back through. And then once my black paint has dried, I'm going to go over it with a coat of white. I'm using Dixie Belle paint in the color Fluff. I'm going to apply 2 coats of the white Dixie Belle paint, and of course I'll have a link in the description below of all the products that I use in today's video. I want to add a transfer. This is the Brocante transfer book. There are 8 pages in here. I have used so much of this transfer, but there is so much left. This one actually comes with 2 pages of these birds, and I have not used a single one yet. So today I'm going to be using 1 set of the birds, and I'm going to apply it to the cute rusty little sign. I've pulled off the white backer, and now I'm just lining up the transfer where I want it to go on my sign. you want to make sure it's in the right place before you push it down, because it may start to transfer as soon as it's on your surface. And all your transfers come with a transfer tool. So after this, all you need to do is push on your transfer with the tool and it'll come off onto your piece. Very easy, very simple. This next part is total personal preference, but I want to lightly sand this transfer. The top of this piece is rusted, so I feel like I want to also give my transfer a very rustic look. There is lots of texture on this piece of tin, so by lightly sanding it, I'm going to bring all of that texture through my transfer, and I think it looks absolutely amazing. Now it looks like an old piece, and it looks like these birds have always been on here. I love how these birds came out so much. I definitely need to find something to use the other set on. You may think this is a little odd, but I love these shoe shine brushes. I think they have such a pretty vintage look. So this one, I want to go ahead and embellish the top of it. Once again, I am going to be using the IOD Olive Crest Mode and the IOD Air Dry Clay. So I'm going to be using the two pieces on the end. So I'm going to put my air dry clay in there, and then I'm going to rub off all of the excess. And then I'm going to take my clay out of the modes. Now these are very, very bendable, so I'm just going to play with them and figure out what arrangement I want them to be in on the shoe shine brush. Now, you can see these are very, very bendable. So what I like to do with these is let them dry and stiffen up a little bit before I go back and glue them. That way I know they're going to hold their shape. So like I said, once they have stiffened up a little bit, I'm going to go back with my Gorilla Glue and just glue them down to the surface. I am loving how the clay molds look, but I felt like it needed a little transfer, a little typography on the side. So luckily the brocante transfer is full of typography. I decided on this one because it sounds like a good Cajun name, Mason Clément. So I'm just going to go ahead and quickly add this to the side, and I feel like it just gave it that extra special touch it really needed. Now it would have been better to do this before I put on the molds, but you know, sometimes you're working on a project and it just evolves as you work on it and you just go with it. So I decided to do the transfer as an afterthought, and I love the way that it came out. And I was thinking you could just do a transfer on the top as well, and that would be very pretty. Here's one more idea on what to do with these shoe shine brushes. You just turn them upside down and you stick a picture in them, and look how cute and vintage this looks. I love this pan. It caught my eye. I like the color on it, the age on it. The look is already perfect. It is 99 cents, and I think that I have an idea for this. Like I said, I absolutely loved it, exactly like it already was. So I'm going to use it as a riser. And I had this glass cloche that I also thrifted on a different shopping trip. And y'all, it fits perfectly on top of here. How cute is that?
Right, guys, that is it for today's video. I hope these projects gave you some ideas and inspiration on decorating your own home on a budget. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see y'all next week for a brand new DIY video.